everyone. Oh my God. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. I know. How's everybody doing? Goodness. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to get started on this topic. I love it so much. And I can't wait to share with you what I have. So, hello, everyone. Tell us, type into the chat uh, where you are tuning in from and what grade level you represent. It's always, I like to just kind of see who's in the room so I know. We have a number of you who signed up today. So, and if you're new to our family, let me know. Here, let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay. Awesome. Hi, everyone. All right. Tell me where you're tuning in from and what grade level you represent. If you're a class of 26, holy smokes, you guys, you're like 5 months away from hitting submit. 5.5 months, right? It's not very far. And if you're class of 27, welcome. Yeah, you've got a little bit longer of a runway. And those of you 28, 29, 30, it goes on. Yeah, I know. You guys, I'm telling you, I've been having meetings with different people and we're onboarding people for our summer programs, etc. You'd be surprised how many students, how many families I get that are class of 29, 30. Crazy, right? I know. Okay. Hi, Georgia. Giannis. Am I saying that right? Okay. Welcome. Class of 27. Nice. Good for you for being here. All right. Where are you, the rest of you from? Please tell me. Where are you tuning in from and what grade level? We're going to start here in just a minute. So I just like to kind of see who's in the room. There are about 30 of you who signed up. So Natalia, look at this, class of 27. Oh my gosh, I love this. You guys doing so good. Proud of you. Okay. Good. Anyone, any 2026s? Are you too nervous to tell me? I know. I've been meeting with my VIP clients the last couple of weeks, and we're already starting working on their essays and just getting their wheels turning. So it's so fun. I love this time of year, to be honest with you, because it's graduation, and our class that we just worked with are graduating, and then the next class. Okay, so I'd love to hear from more of you, but no worries. Let's go ahead and get started because I know you came here for that. So if you're just joining, please type into the chat where you are tuning in from and which grade level you represent, class of 26, class of 27, 28, etc. Okay. All right. So let's see if we can get this party started. I like technology so much, but sometimes I don't get it right. Present, share screen, boom. And now what? Let's see. Window. Oh, yeah. Okay. I did it right. Okay, you guys. So excited to have you there. Hi, Mary Mary, I recognize the name. Class of 27. Evelyn from New Jersey. Look at you guys, all on the East Coast, 9 o'clock at night. Look at you. I'm impressed. Okay, loving all of this. Let's go ahead and get started. And, those who join in will just join in when they can, or they'll catch the replay. All right, no worries. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Anatomy of an Ivy League application. I am your host, Dr. Cynthia Colon, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you are taking time, putting your child's dreams first, as my mother would say. So she's happy that you're here as well. I want to start by saying that most people think that getting admitted to an Ivy League institution or Ivy level institution comes with it like perfect grades and perfect test scores. But the truth is that's just the starting line. Like everyone else looks like that and the same on paper. So what matters is really that you stick in the minds of your reader. So no worries, I got you. That's why you're here. But before we dive into all of that, I want to know a little bit about you. So I'm going to give you you can type in 1, 2, or 3. Which type of parent are you? That's my mom. We share a birthday, like we're 1 week apart. So we always have a great dinner. Are you the holy smokes parent? Type in the chat number 1. This is the emoji of like, when did it get so competitive? Like, holy smokes, what happened? Yes, that's a picture of me when I was in high school. So I'm a Gen X. Holla. And so that would probably be me. Okay. You could be number 2, though we got this, now what? Like, maybe you've been doing all the homework. Maybe you've been studying everything. Your child is a rock star already, is on the right track, doing all the right things. And now you just need someone to help get them to the finish line. Maybe you're, feeling like, okay, yeah, let's go. You could be number 3, the first rodeo parent. This means that you are going through this process with your firstborn child, or worse, your only child. Like, you don't want to get this wrong. And you could also be someone like my mother, who didn't go to college herself. Neither of my parents did. And so it was not only her first rodeo, firstborn, me, but also her first rodeo in general, had never been through the process. So there you go. Okay, so just go ahead and type into the chat 1, 2, or 3. Which one are you? Either way, this is my 4-legged son, and he says, you're in the right place. And he says, my mommy's got you. So you're in the right place, and I'm so glad you're here. All right. So tell me, let me see if anybody typed in. Which one? Yeah, 3. Okay. Hi. Okay, Virginia, class of 26. Hi, Eliana. Good to have you. Okay. 3. Wow, some of you have first rodeos. Amazing. Yeah, Natalia, I'm with you. Like, holy smokes, when did this get started? Okay. Very good. Let's move on. Is it showing? Why is it? Oh, it's not showing my screen the right way. Hang on. Stop share. Present. Share screen. You guys didn't tell me. Okay. There we go. Okay. You're probably like, what the heck was going on? All right, now you can see my 4-legged son, right? Oh yeah. Okay, good. Okay, now we're in business. I tell you, this technology, I always get it tweaked wrong. So for those of you who are new and you're like, who is this woman who talks so fast? And I found her on the internet. Yes, that's me. Let me share a little bit of story about me before we dive in. So this is me with my mother. When I interviewed her, she was my first podcast interview. That's us on the right-hand side. But that's us when I graduated from my dream college. I was dreaming of going to USC, University of Southern California. But as a senior, I got imposter syndrome. I got really nervous. My parents were going through a divorce. And I said, that's okay. I'll just it's cool. I'll just go to the local school. And she was like, no, not happening on my watch. So my mom met someone. And when I was a sophomore in high school, unbeknownst to me, she held onto his card and he said, call me when you're ready and I can help you. And just like you're sitting here today to get information, that's what she did. She called him up and said, can you meet with us? And he made time. And she drove me north on the 110 freeway in the brown Oldsmobile. And we went to his office and he shared with me what I needed to know in terms of an application, what to write in my essays on. He gave me tons of advice. And then he gave her advice on applying for financial aid. A dream. So you're doing the very same thing that she did, having the courage to get help. So thanks to her, it all worked out. So fast forward. Many years later, I went to USC. Then I went to Columbia Teachers College at Columbia University for my master's. And then from there, I worked at Vassar. So if you're looking at this and you don't know what this college is on the right-hand side, it's a photo of the front of Vassar College. That's main building. It's one of the most beautiful campuses I've been to, and I've been to over 300. So this is where I became obsessed with college admissions. Why? Because once I started working in college admissions at an elite school like Vassar, it's one of the oldest colleges in the country, I got it. I was like, wow, the difference of the knowledge and the resource that different students and families have across the country. I traveled across the country to recruit. So I really became obsessed with the process and learned everything I could. And then honestly, I applied those behind the scenes truths to the students and the girls that I worked with at Marymount High School, the all girls, elite all girls school here in Los Angeles. A number of things went on to happen. I was really obsessed with sort of becoming sort of like the Mr. Raul Vargas, which is the gentleman that my mom introduced me to help me. I wanted to do the same thing. So I started writing books. I did started a podcast. I also have a YouTube channel and did a TEDx speech, which you can also find on YouTube. So I did a number of things where I just, traversed the country and sort of just giving information to help people. And so now you can find that second book also in Spanish. Okay. So there you have it. You're not talking just to some crazy stranger that you found on the internet. There you go. All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. Type the number one if you're ready to rock and roll and actually get down to business, because that's what you came for. Am I right? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's do it. Okay. So I'm going to just skip down here. Okay. All right. So there's a lot of things that through this process we imagine are the right things to do, or we just don't know what else to do because you're just doing what you kind of hear and what's passed down to from friends, family, neighbors, etc. So let's talk about it. So let's understand that we're going to talk about the essays. We're also going to talk about the application. But in the admission process, 60 to 80% of the applicant pool, they're all equally qualified. Okay. So the essay becomes like the tiebreaker in a sea of perfect grades and perfect test scores. So everyone applying to top 100 and especially Ivy League colleges, they're all equally qualified. So just think about how Olympic gold is won by like fractions of a point or fractions of a second, or the Kentucky Derby won by a nose. So that's the goal, is to really figure out how your application can win by a nose and be unforgettable. Number two, you may not know that your fate, the fate of your child, is decided under 15 minutes by a stranger. Okay, that's me. Yeah, that's all you get. A stranger is going to decide the fate of their future in under 15 minutes. And the essay is really what I always found was the one place that the student, the applicant, has their shot to grab the heart, stick in their minds, and really make the admission officer root for them, cheer for them, champion their application when the time comes and when it really makes it count. So this here is a photo of me. I talk about the red, the yellow, or the green. That's how we voted at the end in committee. Once the application was presented, we would just hold up a red, a yellow, or a green index card. That was how we voted. I know. Crazy. Number three, this is not an English paper. Okay. So again, the application, there's many components. I get it. But the thing, what gets written gets reviewed, and those are the things that are most unique to each applicant, right? Everything else is going to be similar, right? Those grades and test scores, as we said. So English class teaches students how to analyze other people's stories, where the college essay is really about selling your own story. It's storytelling with a purpose, and it's designed to say, pick me, I'm the one, pick me. Like when you're on Instagram and you're scrolling through and you're like, stop in your tracks on one thing. That's the goal of this essay, of this application. I know. Number four, I love this one. So another goal, or to make sure that we just don't let any stone go unturned. The essays are also just about maximizing choices. Yes, and so the best essays are going to get more yeses, and you get admitted. So standout essays don't just open doors for reach schools. It can also unlock massive amounts of merit aid dollars that do not have to be paid back. Right? Sign me up for that. So it's not just about getting in, but it's about also getting in and show me the money. So if that's important to you, this is definitely like something you really need to pay attention to. Number five, can we talk about missed opportunities? Right? I lived in New York City for a bit. That was me sometimes. So poor strategy can lead to lost opportunities. And what I find way too often, every single fall, I always get calls where the student has waited too long, put it off, and treating this like a last minute writing assignment. And those last minute writing assignments, as basically, those students often submit safe essays, or worse, forgettable essays. So that's stressful. It's stressful on you, stressful on them. It's also costly. Missed opportunities, missed merit scholarship dollars, and in many cases, missed dreams. So you don't want to get to the end of senior year and go, if I would have just put in more time, maybe I would have gotten in by a nose, right? So just think about that. Okay, who's ready to see some applications? I know that's what you came for. Okay, I think in the advertisement, I think it said four real case studies. I'm going to give you 6, if that's okay with you. All right. Who's ready? Hey, Marcy. All right. Okay, here we go. Let's start with Ryan. Ryan hails from California. And you can see here, I have AQs and PQs. AQs stand for academic qualities or academic qualifications, and PQs are the personal qualities or the personal qualifications. So you'll see that on every single slide. So you see his AQs, 4.68 GPA with 11 APs. You've got some PQs there, and the coolness factor, what sometimes people refer to as a passion project or passion things, STEM, medical club founder, some other things. Now I'm going to show you how he stuck in the minds of his reader. Are you ready? Here's a piece of his personal statement. Despite my knowledge about Vietnam, I was pretty ignorant of everything else and rarely interacted with non-community people. I saw the world in black and white, either hang out with other Vietnamese people or don't hang out at all. My favorite sentence. Then I met Javier, my El Salvadorian classmate. Maracas, bongos, tambourines made me tap my feet as Javier and his sister practiced a dance called salsa. The climax, however, was dinner, where I ate a green soup called pozole verde. Pretty good, right? Here's a piece of his second essay, or what we would call a supplemental essay. And it goes on, and you can read what's on the page here, but he talks about his struggle with his speech impediment, and he cannot pronounce his R's. And remember, his name is Ryan. So he'll introduce himself as Ryan, and it became an embarrassing nickname that he and several others called me on a daily basis that deteriorated my confidence as a freshman and sophomore. So that's one of his supplemental essays. Ryan was admitted to nearly, I think, every UC that he applied to. He's from California. He wanted to stay in California. He also was admitted to USC, and he's now a junior at UCLA. So there you go. Let's go on to Juliana. Juliana hails from New York, and you can see her AQs here with her GPA and her PQs. She was on student council. She's a Kumon instructor, but probably the best thing about Juliana was her coolness factor, which is that she was a competitive dancer for 7 or 9 years. And she did that leading all the way up till, I think, her junior year in high school. And then she turned into becoming an instructor at the very same studio that she was a competitor for. Okay. But here's the real seal the deal again for Juliana. Again, everybody's equally qualified. So let's take a peek here. Ooh, you need a tissue here. I don't know how to ride a bike. As soon as I blurted it out, I immediately regretted it. But I shouldn't be ashamed. I learned how to balance other things with much more importance than wheels. A recurrent brain tumor and 5 surgeries left my father with the inability to complete common skills that most people take for granted. So as a child, I learned to play catch with myself, climb the monkey bars without a spot on the playground. By 4 years old, I could guide my dad on a walking tour to my necessities, the pizza parlor, the public library, and the playground. We never drove anywhere, and certainly never rode bikes. Oof, I know. So good. Okay. Then this second essay, one of her supplemental essays, is this one here. You can sort of read what's on the page, but Juliana, you should know, she says she wants to be a nutritional scientist. Okay. So this essay is about someone who's, I think, she's allergic to eggs. And so Juliana turns one of her famous cupcake recipes and she uses something different as a substitute for eggs. So she talks about the chemistry of baking. So, right. And it also helps to sew in that theme, that thread of her wanting to go into nutritional science. Okay. Ta-da! Juliana is just recently graduated from Cornell. So that was her dream, college, since she was a sophomore. She went to visit. That was it. And then her mom called and said, okay, I can't help her. So can you? So I said, sure. All right, here's Curtis. Curtis hails from Washington, D.C. He was a very young applicant. I think he was barely 16 when he applied, maybe even when he started college, but 16, 17, he was very young. He did some high school and some college. You can see his high test scores there. You can see his PQs, robotics captain, black engineers, capoeira, martial arts, all the things, okay? I mean, there's not enough room for any of these kids for all the things that they did. But here's the cool thing. He said to me when I met him, Dr. Cologne, there are 5 living African American paleontologists, and I want to be number 6. And I said, let's go. Let's go. So that's what's cool about him. But let's take a peek at one of his essays. So he says, I check my hair as the elevator doors close in front of me. Backpack, check. Notebook, check. Big blue button with Chinese characters inviting people to talk to me in Chinese. Check. My flat top fade and light chocolate skin are a dead giveaway that I am a foreigner. Don't you love that? So it goes on about how obviously he's learning how to speak the language and being a foreigner in a country and navigating that on the day. And if I remember correctly, again, he was super young. So I think when he went there, he was like 15, maybe 14. I don't know. He's a supplemental essay. You can kind of read what's on the page here, but this is about his internship with Dinosaur George, who's actually a real person who's called Dinosaur George. So he walks us through how he met Dinosaur George and all the knowledge that he had, and then he gets invited to be an ambassador. Okay, paleontology nerd, Mandarin speaking dino ambassador. I mean, there wasn't too much not to like about Curtis, to be honest with you. He was admitted nearly everywhere he applied, not everywhere, but nearly everywhere, including Harvard and Yale and University of Chicago, Berkeley, etc. I want you to know that for this family, the ROI was the financial merit-based aid, and so he turned all of that down and took a full ride. I think it included everything, and he's graduating this year from Florida A&M. Okay, FAMU as they call it. He's big, green, and orange. So there you go. Congratulations, Curtis. Let's meet Celeste. She hails from Southern California. You can see here her AQs are very strong, 4.5 GPA with 9 APs. Now, she comes from a underserved community, and her high school isn't necessarily ranked as high as another student I'll show you here in a second across the nation, right? So she supplements that with 5 community colleges. So when I met her, I remember thinking, gosh, that was probably really great insurance to show that she was academically prepared. So just as a pro tip, okay, in case you're wondering. All right, so let's take a look. I mean, she was running the school. She was captain of practically everything. So let's take a quick look here. When I came home that day, neither my sister nor my mother were home. I knocked on the neighbor's apartment, and she accompanied back to our 1-bedroom apartment, only to find that my mother left a note for my father and I. The letter revealed that she had kidnapped my sister to Mexico. My mom is undocumented, so she cannot return to the United States. I became dizzy and screamed in agony. And she goes on to share how she now, I wake up an hour earlier to get ready for school, cook our breakfast and pack our lunches. I make sure she knows how to brush her teeth and have good hygiene. She goes on, and being a second parent, I've learned that patience is a virtue and that I'm capable of handling both being a parent and a student. Oof. Again, another tissue box here, please. This is her other essay, and I won't even begin to try and read this to you because, half the words here, I'm just like, what does that even mean, right? So yeah, I'm not above anything to to say, like, I had never known this quote, but really my point is, I'm being a little bit funny, but my point is this essay here with this quote that you set your heart ablaze, one of Ren Goku's last words dying fighting Akaza, I can't even say, in the Demon Slayer movie. She goes on and explains this quote. Okay, so she goes on, and at the end, she says, Rumi, you should remember. Should you remember anything from this note, set your heart ablaze. So she unpacks the quote. And when you're applying to an Ivy League or Ivy level institution, right? HYP or as Howard, Yale, Princeton, Stanford, that kind of level, they're looking to make sure you have the kind of intellect that's going to fit into their campus. I believe you me, I was not this girl when I was a senior in high school. There's no way. I know I wasn't. I didn't know enough, and I wish I would have been mentored and all of those things that we can go back. Well, we can't change time. But basically what I'm saying is, do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? This is Ivy level right here. So she's at Stanford, in case you didn't guess that. And she was admitted also to, I think, every UC. She was Her dad, I think, would have been willing to send her anywhere if she got admitted to an Ivy, but I think early on she didn't want to leave her sister, so she didn't apply to Ivy Leagues. Here's Jonna. She hails from Chicago, Illinois, and she attended a major public institution. Walter Payton is probably in the top 10 or top 20 public schools in the country. So she had all the right things going for her, and she the right, sort of pedigree, and got the right background of what she needed to be prepared. But so you see here her AQs, 12 APs, you guys, 12 APs. At her PQs, debate champion, teen train, mayor's youth council. I mean, there's other things. She also founded a podcast, which I'll share a bit with you. Okay, so let's take a peek. The first essay, her personal statement, is very good. It is really good, but it's actually not my favorite of all of the essays that she wrote. It does anyway. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that out loud. But it's a great essay, and it got her, what she needed to say about herself. She says, and she just talks about being in a family of 5, sharing one bathroom, and where she lives in juxtaposition to who she's surrounded by. Okay, let's go to this one. This is my favorite one. This I call the microphone hog essay. So she's founded a podcast, and the gist is basically when she becomes the host and she asks a question, when that like 3 seconds of silence before they answer the question, or 3 to 5 seconds, she can't stand that silence, so she just injects and just can't help herself. So this is a journey of her growth. One of my favorite types of essays for students applying to Ivy Leagues is when you can sort of make fun of yourself and not look like you're perfect, because nobody is. So that's why I show you this one even more so than the other one. So, okay, let's see. What is the episode 8? She goes on, the water polo player. Next time I tried to chime in, he didn't notice my audio was so low. EJ continued. Finally, only 25 minutes. And then at the end, as a podcast host, listening is crucial. I plan to listen twice as much as I speak and never become a mic hog again. I mean, you want her in your class. Come on. Yeah. So here's Jonna. She was admitted to Princeton, UPenn, Georgetown, Cornell, UVA, Howard, Barnard. I mean, the list goes on. And again, I just really think that when you can poke fun of yourself, it's really a really great thing. Finally, there's Charlie. Charlie hails from California, Southern California, private Catholic school, 4.4 GPA, STEM heavy. You can see everything about him is STEM. He wants to major in mechanical engineering, wants to become the next Elon Musk, all of the things. His coolness project, or his impact project, is that he builds custom electric bikes. No joke. Okay, so similar. He had a great personal statement, but it wasn't my favorite. It's a good essay, and I show you here a piece of it. It walks you through how he became interested in this charge and these bikes, electric bikes, and how he goes on to build them and get mentorship, etc. Very good and very specific to him, obviously. But here's something I just love, and I don't even know that I don't know that I've ever told him this. So here it is. Friday night, the arch nemesis of the socially awkward nerd who hadn't mastered the careful art of scheduling group events with friends. Most of us wasted away the time playing video games, going on YouTube, or just lying in bed. But not me. I found a secret haven with people like me, searching for connection, all playing a game we love, Magic the Gathering. Again, this is this little mini supplement. I can see exactly who he is, and just the way he phrases this, the arch nemesis of the socially awkward nerd. It's just great, so great. Charlie was admitted to a number of Catholic schools, but his dream was Notre Dame, and so once he applied early, I think he just pulled out all the other applications. So there you go. Okay, I know. Okay, pop quiz. Type into the chat one phrase, one sentence, one word that you still remember. I just showed you 6 students pieces of 2 essays, so 12 pieces of essays. Is there any one thing that you still remember? I'm treating you like as if you were the admission officer, right? You just read 12 applications. What do you remember? Ooh, okay. All right, type that into the chat. I'll let you do that. Gojo. I don't know what that means, Gojo. Mike Hogg. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Set your heart ablaze. Good, Juan. Good. Yeah. You guys are getting it. So good. Okay. Parenting, grit, heart. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Hey, Nick. I'll see you tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? When am I seeing you? Friday? Can't remember what day. Listen twice as much as I speak. Oh my God, you guys are good. 5 people sharing a bathroom. Yes. I don't know how to ride a bike. Sig. Yes. I always need like tissue. Okay. Awesome. You guys are doing great. Okay, my friends, if it's okay with you, I'm going to share with you what we do and how we work and what our philosophy is in approaching this process because it's not easy, but it can be made simple. Okay. Well, if you have the right formula. Okay. All right. All right. Let's go. Okay. So I want to tell you that when so 6 to 12 minutes is what I said earlier. I had the luxury when I worked at Vassar, probably could spend 12 to 15 minutes, right? I didn't have quite as many applications as some of the other schools, but I was able to do that. Now, I will tell you that at the end of each day, I remembered, 3 to 5 applications, but at the end of the week, I still remembered 3 to 5 applications. So each day that you keep reading more and more, you're like, okay, there's only so many that you'll remember. So that's really sort of the key. And when I started to work with students on essays, I really understood, okay, this is what needs to happen. It needs to stay sticky. Okay. Sticky stories will win the day all day, every day. So now, here are the signature core 4 essays that we've come up with over time. Now, this is a team-proof, battle-tested formula we've been doing since 2003. Did I just state myself? Yes. Okay. Since my days at Marymount, like we were one of the first to come up with the essay camp. So, who am I? What am I good at? What's something cool about me? And why this major? These are the signature 4 that we believe every student needs to have in their arsenal. Now, I'm going to tell you why. Why these? Well, okay. Here are 5 reasons why these work. Swiss Army knife. Hello. This is the Swiss Army knife of the college application process. These 4, who am I? What am I good at? What's something cool about me? And why this major? These can be repurposed probably 60 to as much as 80% of all the supplemental prompts. I know you'd be surprised, but you can move them and retweak them and repurpose them. Okay. So instead of reinventing the wheel for every single essay prompt, which we do not recommend, the students are going to build this cadre once and then use them often. Okay. So you don't want to be writing 68 essays. Number 2, turning the overwhelm into strategy. Okay, so instead of staring at the blank screen for 68 times. Now, okay, let me just back up for a second. You're going to need 18 to 68 essays, okay? But those of you who are here, you're here because your child is probably planning on applying to Ivy level institutions, colleges that admit under, that are top 25, they're admitting under 20%, really under like 15%, under 10%, okay? Many of those colleges, especially the Ivy Leagues, are requesting an additional 5 to 7 essays on top of the personal statement. So do the math, okay? Yeah, I know. So you do not want to be reinventing the wheel for everyone. So now you have this library of essays that are tailored to your child, personalized stories that only they can write. Okay, so now they have these in their back pocket. And so that tell us about yourself or tell us, what's most important to you or tell us why this major. It becomes a plug and play instead of starting from scratch. Number 3, you need stories that stick. We all do, right? These aren't just drafts, they're, drafted essays. These are really diagnostic like tools that reveal the ideas that stick for them. Again, their personal story, the themes that are recurrent in their lives, and the things that they're trying to highlight to leverage in their application. All of these things, once you get this done and reflected on and mastered, this becomes the way to win by a nose, right? Sticky. All right, authentic voice and confidence. Okay, this is my favorite little topic here. So if you ask anybody, I hear this a lot. Oh, your essay needs to just be authentic. When you tell it to a teenager, like, what does that even mean? Like, what does that look like? What does that mean? What are you talking about? So students finally see in our courses, they see that they have so much to say. There is plenty of content that they have in their lives. I promise you. But the process in unlocking, or what we call excavating your gold over the 5 days, starts to unleash their confidence. Every day they come back to, every day they show up back to class of their own volition. I'm always like, see, no teenager is going to show up a day in and day out in the summer if they don't feel like they're getting value and feeling more confident in themselves. So this self-doubt, the like, I have nothing to write about, like I'm boring. The self-doubt turns into self-belief. And that is actually the goal before heading back to school in the fall. You don't want to, you want to start the year strong. Number 5 is about just building the muscle, the essay writing muscle. So I don't know about you, but like, I am past an age. I need to have, do the weights and keep up. You got to put in the reps. So essay writing is not writing an English paper. It's not writing a research paper. It's completely different. And it takes time and several drafts to get it right. So, with us, students are going to learn, the structure, the pacing, and the storytelling rhythm early on, so that later, even if there are a few more essay supplements that they need to do on their own, they are 5 times easier to execute, right? So the early bird does get the worm. You got to build that muscle early on. Okay. All right. Take a screenshot, everyone. Tattoo this to your brain. Tape it onto the refrigerator. Who used to do that? I see that. I used to put my report card. My mom would put the report card on there. It'd be a big star. Okay. All right. So you want to screenshot this too. You don't have to be superhuman. You don't have to be the valedictorian. You don't have to be the next Mother Teresa. You don't have to be a recruited athlete. You don't even have to have a billionaire's last name. Although probably that one would help. But you don't have to be any of those things. I promise. Okay. These are all our students. You can see here, we've been doing this for a long time. Team proof, battle tested. So why is this worth it? Why are you here? I never want you to feel that that this is a dream not worth chasing. Okay. I never want your child to feel embarrassed to say, oh, I want to apply to Ivy League. Why? Okay, because it's not just about the sweatshirt, having a better sweatshirt. It's about having better networks, better opportunities, better graduate school programs or offers, and increased trajectory of a lifetime, increased amount of money that you'll make over a lifetime. Your child has worked this hard, this long. Why settle, right? There are plenty of colleges to choose from. And I say Ivy League, Ivy level, or top 50 is really what you're after, right? If you get into one of those, your child gets into one of those, these things just are better. They just have better opportunities. So don't say it's impossible. It is possible. All right, last thing I'm going to share with you, and then I'll take your questions, is this. College Essay Bootcamp is the core of what we do. We can't, Dr. Colon, can we work with you? Can we work with your team and do even more than just Essay Camp? The answer is yes. But today, for right now, this is what I'm talking about. It's the core of what we do for our summers. Here are 5 reasons this should be a no-brainer. Number 1, 5 days, no homework, maximum output. Oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. You give a teenager 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days, or 5 hours to get something done. That's how long they will take. So no dragging this out for months. Students walk away with 3 to 5 essays done and dusted. It's structured, it's strategic, and it's done. Number 2, personal essay coach plus group momentum equals magic. I highly believe if you want something for your child that like is one-on-one tutoring like the entire time, this is probably not for you. However, if you understand the concept of like having your own personal essay coach for 5 days, but within the setting that everyone around you is like they're all working for the same thing and they're all shooting, for their own dreams, their own level of Ivy League. And it's magic what happens, I'm telling you. So I want you to imagine like being in an AP class with a private tutor plus a cheer squad. And if I'm too much for you, then again, maybe it's not too much because every morning I start with a little pep talk. Okay. So it's structure, feedback, accountability, all in one is amazing. Say goodbye to some summer stress. Okay, we do not want any procrastination meltdowns. This happens every fall. So I get last minute calls in October, and there's so little that we can do by then. We can help, and we still do. I don't know that until we can't, until we run out of capacity. But boot camp will give families, not just the student, mom, dad too, the peace of mind, and it'll gives the students the head start. So confidence replaces chaos. You do not want chaos come fall. I promise you. I've done this long enough. You do not want that. Number 4, from blank page to yes letters. Yes, please. We have helped students. I've just showed you craft winning essays that have led to Harvard, to Stanford, USC, UCLA, Duke, Cornell, UVA, you name it. And full ride scholarships. So these aren't just drafts. These are game-winning plays, you guys. Come on. I know. You get it. If you've been following me at all, you know I love sports. Love sports. Okay. Number 5, ROI. Parents, listen up. The ROI is whatever you want it to be. For some families, ROI is the return on investment is really, I just want my kid to be happy. I want my kid to feel confident going through this process, because it's imposter syndrome, like, will happen. So you just want your kid to feel confident, like they left it all on the field. Like they gave their all, they had expert guidance, and they left it all on the field. And they feel good and happy, and they just, and your relationship is intact. Okay, that's one type of ROI. The second type of ROI is probably most of you are feeling like we just want them to get admitted to one of their top schools, like whatever they're dreaming of. And whether it's a UC institution, oh, there goes Elvis, or Ivy League or Ivy level. So where they get in is what you feel might be the ROI. And we've done it over and over again. And the third piece of the ROI is sometimes you really want to have that merit dollar. So there is an investment to doing essay camp, but what's the return on investment, right? Curtis, yeah, Harvard and Yale was coming knocking, but he chose no debt. He is graduated debt free. So that could be a big ROI. So yeah, it's an investment. Here are the dates, y'all. Here are the dates. And then I'm going to answer questions. All of the dates can be done virtually, so not to worry. But obviously you can join us live. We're doing one for the first time in Northern California and for the first time in New York City. We just keep having these pockets of people. So we're adding and seeing. We're going to see how it goes. Okay. So we'd love for you to join us. And I'm going to pause here and see if I can answer your questions. I'll come back to that if you don't have any questions. Okay. Whew. Lord, I've just talked and talked. So what are your questions? Happy to answer. And then those of you who stay to the end, I have a little coupon code for you to use if you're ready to sign up. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Are you ready? All right. Tell me, talk to me. I am an open book, in case you haven't figured that out. I'll answer any question. If you want to ask me anything about the college admission process or essays or any of these kids I've just talked about, happy to share. That's why you're here. Okay, you're making me nervous. Too much information. Okay, I'm going to just also do this here. And then I'll walk you through here. 1, what do you think is the most important thing in making an essay sticky? I should ask you back. Were you a good student? If you look and think about each of the essays I shared with you, I often will say the essay should be something I cannot find anywhere else in the application. Number 1. Number 2, the essay, hang on, I'm going to stop share so I can look you in the eye. Okay. So one, the essay, the main essay should be something I cannot find anywhere else in the application. Number two, the essay should be a story that only you could write. So the most common topics is that's probably what I'm talking about tomorrow. So if you'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow we are live. I'm live at 4 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow, and it's all about the essays. So the most common topics are, sports, service, community service, and then the 3 Ds: death, divorce, and devastation. So when you read an essay, and if you just covered your name at the top of the page, and this could be an essay that, you know, 5, 10, 15, or more people could write, that's not the story. Okay. So the key to making it sticky is, the detail, the personal piece that's to you. And again, that just takes time and drafts, and someone giving you real good advice as to what you're writing and what's working. So, is that helpful? Hope that's helpful. All right. What other questions do you have for me? Okay. I'm going to share with you um, the price of camp and what did I do here? And what it comes with. Okay. Oh, here's another question. Hang on. Is there a benefit for sophomores or is this for junior? Oh, Adam. Oh my gosh. Thank you for asking that question. Um, Huge benefit for rising juniors. And I say this with knowing that it's usually going to be rising seniors that take the class. But truth be told, if you are a VIP client of ours, there's always a handful of the VIP clients. Because if you're a VIP, you get to have access of everything. There's no extra charge. So you can take essay camp twice. So I'll give you the perfect example. Maddie from Utah was a VIP. She took essay camp as a rising junior, and so in that particular week, there might have been only like two of the kids. She was, so she was like, "Oh, you get to hear what everybody else is doing, and you get to see, and you get to learn a lot about the process." So it's also just helpful to just mindset. And she went ahead and she wrote. She might have done 3 or 4 essays that week. There was no pressure for her to finish 4 essays. So then the following year, she also went back to essay camp and did it a second time, and then busted out another 4 or 5 essays. And she's headed to Stanford. So I'm not saying she's headed to Stanford because she took essay camp twice. What I'm saying really is this is a process, this reflection. She actually ended up using one of her first essays from camp as her main statement, and then all of the other supplements. I mean, Stanford, she applied to several top schools, but Stanford has what, seven additional essays, maybe 9. It's a lot. So it was a lot of writing to do. So I don't think it's ever too early, but we do have juniors who take it every year. Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. How much do the honors awards matter in the application? Oh, certainly it plays a huge role. And today's topic was really, you can see every one of those students, and what I gave you in their terms of their PQs is like a small little thing about their PQs. But again, 60 to 80% of the applicant pool, they all look the same, meaning they all have top grades, top test scores, and something that stands out in their resume. There's another. You should watch one of my YouTube videos. I talk about the different levels of leadership, and so for anyone to be really eligible, and I've never seen anybody get admitted to an Ivy League school, and maybe even like that Ivy level top 20 college that isn't at a level 4 or level 5. So if you go to my YouTube, I'll actually, maybe I'll show you. If you go to my YouTube video, it's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's one of the more popular videos. So look at the one that talks about Ivy League activities in 8 minutes, something like that. Okay, you'll get to know that. All right, let me share with you on what's on the screen. Can a higher SAT score help you have a? That's a really good question. So for Ivy League, it's not going to it's not going to help. It's like so with a huge discrepancy. So I'm not sure what you're defining by a low GPA. Some people define low GPA, but like I had 1B. So depends on what you mean. But the cautionary tale there is that you don't want there to be such a discrepancy. Like I scored a 1590 on my SAT and I have a 3.5 GPA. That just gives off the impression that you were just lazy. Okay, I'm not saying that that's true. I'm saying what does that tend to like look like? So, but we can talk about that when we meet. Right? When are we meeting, by the way? That Friday? Okay, you guys, let me walk you through a couple of things here. So you see what's included. Present. And again, this is our basic package. So by joining this package, is it right here? Yeah. You can upgrade. You can always upgrade, but I'll share with you what I'm going to offer today. So this page here, drcynthiacolon.com/essay camp is where you can find all of this. And if you do want to find out more about our other packages, you can book a call. I'm happy to meet with you. Okay. And so down here, you'll see there are 2 packages. And if you wanted to do it on your own, you have a student who is just applying to maybe top 300 school, then that might suffice. But all of you here tonight are really here for a different reason. So the basic that I would really recommend is our signature package. Okay. Again, it goes up from here. You can do other things and sign up for more time with us or more feedback, and that extends into the fall. Okay, so that's what's here. You can just click here, get admitted now. And here, I'm going to tell you the secret. If you're watching, pay attention. So this is the price. And if you type the code, ready, boom. Okay, I'm giving you that code. That code will expire tomorrow evening. It's going to expire tomorrow evening because I have another webinar, live webinar tomorrow. So those folks will also get the same code. So it's the end of the month. It's May. People, you know what you need to do. So if you're ready and I've showed you enough, I would say get it. And if you want to upgrade, you can always upgrade after you go ahead and sign up and take advantage of the discount there. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And then what I want to show you, which I don't think I usually do a good job of sharing, and here's what I want to share with you. So you're like, okay, 5 days of boot camp. I mean, that should be enough, and it's certainly worth the value of that. But let me, here. So one of the things that we do, well, many things that we do, but you can find my YouTube videos and you can find different things and you get a lot of information for free for sure. But the biggest piece, because I worked at a private independent school for the girls, like we went into the classroom, we taught them everything. Like we would go since freshman year. The amount of time and effort and knowledge and resources that we gave them was just unmatched. And I didn't realize that until I worked there. I was like, wow, like this is nowhere near what I get from my public school. So in the summertime is when you need questions answered because you don't have access to a college counselor at school. I mean, school's closed. In the fall, or even now, but like in the fall, it's hard to get in with your counselor. Again, depending on where you go to school. And even those who go to a private independent school, sometimes you just want more. So this here comes with your package. It's all the video tutorial library. It's me in your living room. So without the big price tag. I mean, you can work with me privately. That's going to be, as a CEO, I only take so many students for VIPs. But still, everything I teach my VIPs one-on-one is literally in here. So the immediate benefit from when you download it and say, I'm in, I want to sign up, you get access to this immediately. Then we have an onboarding call. We do a whole welcome wagon. We're just, it's like a little family. So all of this, I find the students who really become a student of the process have the best results. So even if you watched a third of these videos. You're going to benefit. And then you combine that with the one-on-one coaching, and you combine that with the group coaching that I do. Usually it's me every 2 weeks on Sunday. It's not always going to be me, but we have guests, etc. So you take it, if you take advantage of all the other things that you get by becoming a member of what we call a camper, you can't lose. Like literally, you can't lose. Okay. So yeah. And I don't know about you, but I believe in coaching. I sign up, I get different mentors and coaching every year for myself in my business. So if you get it, you get it. Okay. Oh, sorry, JB. Okay. So this is, I should do this first of all. Okay. This is the website, and I'm going to type, the code is just the word ready. Sorry. The word ready. Okay. Type the word ready, and it expires tomorrow night. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Carrie, let's see. How many one-on-one hours during the fall support experience does it make sense to write essays during the summer before knowing that? Oh my God, Carrie. This is a great question. Carrie asks what a good mama would ask. How do you know the questions? Why would you write the essays before knowing the prompts? No, Carrie. Gary Clark, he's the vice president of enrollment at UCLA. I've known him for a long time, so I say that and I'm like, but when I interviewed him, he was not the VP. But when I interviewed him on my podcast, I'll never forget. So tattoo this to your brain, everybody. Gary Clark says, and if you don't mind, I'll take an extra 5 minutes past the hour to just share with you a few things. So he said, think less about what you think we want to hear and more about what you need to say. Let me repeat that one more time. Think less about what you think we want to hear and more about what you need to say. As soon as he said that, I knew that for the however many years I had already been doing essay camp, I was like, yep, that's exactly what we do. We don't teach to the prompt, Carrie. We teach to the person. So that's why our signature core for our essays, who am I? What am I good at? What's something cool about me? Why this major? Those prompts, if you know your story, you know your narrative, you can take the prompts and make them work for you, not the other way around. That's why students get in front of a prompt and like, I have to answer this prompt. Now I have to answer 68 different prompts. Oh no. So every time a student creates a new essay, it's watered down. It's not as strong. When you have a set of 4 to 8 essays, core, that have been vetted, you've drafted and drafted. Now you just need different versions. You need a 50-word version, a 250-word version, a 350-word version, a 650-word version. You just need more versions of what you need to say about yourself. Don't write to the prompt. We don't teach to the prompt. We teach to the person. Okay? Ooh, wish it was recording. Oh, I guess it is recording. Sometimes I say genius things, but anyway, there you go. Was that helpful, Carrie? Was that helpful to anybody? And the other practicality is that prompts don't change from year to year. Like the prompts are pretty much the same. The UC system has changed them 3 times since I've been in this business. That's it. Ever. Common App, similar. So we already know the prompts. They don't change hardly ever. Okay. Okay, great. I'm glad that helpful. Okay, awesome. Other questions or anything I can share with you? Okay, I should be looking right here. So let me see here. There's one more thing I could share that is at the back end of the presentation. I just never know if I have enough time. So, how many one-on-one hours during the fall support experience? So, Carrie, you may want to make an appointment. So, the signature package is we think of it this way. Everything I said, the video tutorials, the group coaching, and the 5 days. So 5 days one-on-one coach. The next package, the elite package, comes with an extended support through the fall, and you get 5 applications reviewed, which just the UC application alone would be worth the extra money. But you get people to, so you get 6 hours. Sorry, let me back up. You get 6 FaceTime hours plus 5 applications reviewed, which is probably somewhere between another 8 to 10 hours. Okay, but you should probably make an appointment depending on what's the list of colleges. You may want to consider the VIP package. I only say that because Adrian, who's at Stuyvesant Top Public School in New York City, he was VIP, and he applied to 18, 19 colleges, maybe more, but we calculated, he calculated 66 essays that he needed. So when we interviewed him, he came on as he was one of our guests for one of our group coaching calls. And if he remembered, he didn't have it in front of him, but he said that we probably ended up crafting 8 to 10 essays, but one of the essays he actually never used. But to get through 66 essays, he needed 8 or 9 topics. Okay. So for that, I mean, like, then you might consider VIP. All right. And VIP is like basically almost nearly unlimited time, but no one's going to send you like an extra bill because you went over time on the VIP versus the elite. Okay. Let me, I can share one more thing if you guys want to see this, the back end of the presentation. Just shows you a few more students, and the end of the day, you just need to be, it boils down to one of the reasons too that we present, share screen, window. Boom. Okay. So oops. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know. At the end of the day, what we mean by sticky is that those 6 students, like after 6 to 12 minutes, really, I only remember about 4 sentences about you, about the applicant, if I remember at all. Okay, so here are some examples of what I mean by that. Okay, so I showed you the applicants and sort of the gist of their application, but here is another way to look at some other students. So here is basically when I walk away from Alexis's application, I'm going to remember this. The girl who grew up in a red section of California but has blue values. She's a national dance champion, NFL football lover, and created a 6-part immigration education podcast and plans to become an immigration lawyer and one day a high-ranking judge. That's it. Okay. Mateo, the soccer playing entrepreneur who buys and sells just about anything online. He's the CEO and founder of a 501(c) organization that recruits local high school students to give back to the Oakland community. And he's Steph Curry's #1 fan. Emily, the OC girl who educates teens on drunk driving for her gold award, comes from a long line of military colonels for over 50 years and who wants to become the first female colonel in her family and will join ROTC. Okay, so that's just to give you an idea of like what it boils down to. Okay, and here's just me saying, I promise it will work out. Okay. All right. Please indulge me. On a scale of 1 to 10, how helpful was today? And or please type into the chat one thing you heard me say today. What was the most valuable thing that you're walking away with? That's what I love to hear. It's just my joy to help you navigate this process, because nobody should have to do this alone. Ay vey. What do personal essays need to show? Yeah, Giannis, I mean, there's no one answer. And that's, I think, the problem is that most families and most students are like in search of like, what is the answer? Like, what's the right answer? And there's no right answer. And I know it's hard to sort of let that go. But again, if I can refer back to the quote I just said from Gary Clark is, think less about what you think we want to hear and more about what you need to say. What is your story? What is that your child's story? And that's what we help excavate in our camps. Like when you have a coach who's helping you 5 days in a row, it's all you're doing. The coach is going to tell you. Okay, one last thing I'll say because this will help. And Caroline just came. Caroline's sending her son. They're coming to the New York City camp. So okay. Day one of camp is really my favorite day. They're all my favorite, but the hours are from 9 to 3. And within the first 2 hours of essay camp on day one, the students are already writing. Yeah. And by the end of those first 4 hours, so 9 to 1 is the writing portion of the day. They have drafted 6 to 7 essay topics. So they've brainstormed 10 to 12 possible ideas. Then they narrow that down and narrow it down to get to a place where they draft 6 to 7 essays. And everything is done in class. Like it's not homework. It's literally done in class before 1 o'clock. And in those first 2 hours, we get them to brainstorm and talk out loud and share ideas. We ask them at the end of the day one, what did you learn today? We always end the day with some kind of like, what did you learn? What's the takeaway? Just like I asked you. And always they say, I learned how I'm more interesting than I thought I was, or that I have more to say than I thought I did. And it's just like could break your heart, just like, oh my God, so good. And so then what happens is those 6 to 7 test drives, we call them test drives. The coach then is in charge, who's in charge of your son or daughter, reads all of those. And literally, I only work with those who are my VIPs. So for my kids, and we train all our teachers to do this, our coaches to do this, but we're basically looking for like the one sentence, the one phrase that is like, oh, that's gold. Like that sentence, because most of it is crap. And we say, this is like throwing spaghetti at the wall. Like if you're okay with understanding that for day one, like most of what you write, we will never use again. It's mostly going in the trash. But we're just hunting for gold, like excavating gold. So the next morning, they then read their feedback and they'll see what's been highlighted on our little notes. It's like, oh my God, this sentence was brilliant. And like, I want more of this or whatever. And then we basically say, these are the 3 or 4 topics that are already working well. And I would move, then we build. So each day builds on the previous day and they just keep going. Okay. So we don't know, which is why we talk about the microphone hog essay or the Michael Jordan essay or the chocolate essay or the cheese essay or the hair essay or the quinceañera dress essay. When we talk about essays in class, we say to the students, don't go home and tell your parents that you're writing about Taco Bell because they will want their money back. They won't understand how that's going to be a personal statement. Okay. So anyway, I went off a soapbox. Sorry. I don't know if that was helpful at all. All right. Okay, awesome. Yes, students aren't rejected. Yes, sticky stories win the day. All right, guys. Well, I hope to see you sign up for camp. Clock is ticking. Even if you're a rising junior, carpe diem. All right. I hope to see you all tomorrow night as well. We're going to be talking specifically, even a deeper dive into the essays. And or if you're thinking like my son or daughter needs to hear this, tomorrow's a good time to come as well. Okay. I should probably give you that link. Yeah, the Taco Bell one. I know. That's so good. I should probably give you the link to tomorrow to sign up for tomorrow. Where is it? Let's see, right here. I'm going to give that to you. I don't know if it's easy. My team isn't here with me. Sometimes they're here with me, sometimes they're not. Is that the one? Yeah, it is. Boom. I got it. Okay, y'all. Time to walk Elvis, my little guy. Want to see Elvis? He's just waiting for me. Okay. All right. So just write that down if you want to sign up for tomorrow. Or copy it, or I don't know how you do it. All right, guys. Hi, Bubby. Okay, lovely to meet all of you. If you're new, welcome to the family. If you are new, welcome. And if you sign up, we send you a little welcome package. Super cute. All right. Bye, everyone. Nice to meet you all, and look forward to seeing you in ESSA Camp and or tomorrow, both. Bye for now.